And that's the reason we're learning. Yeah.
I want to be on one leg. You listen to me in the hospital?
Yeah, I said.
Ontario.
Oh, they will text me.
Huh? Do you work? My surgery's on the 26th. No, not 26th. The 21st. You gonna be working?
Are you same place or going to admitted?
I'm not getting admitted. Oh yeah, for the surgery I'm getting admitted. Yeah. No, I'm not staying. In and out, outpatient.
So you're same place surgery?
Yeah, outpatient. Yeah.
Yes, what am I doing?
We got Jeremy right there. It's a New York thing.
They have to guess where I am.
So at least we're not like on top of each other.
You need a bigger round table.
Yes.
You need a bigger round table.
That's better.
Oh, I know.
Ready to get started? Let's go, champions! Thank you guys for being here. I wanted to start something where we can all get together, hence the name Roundtable, where it's not going to be specific like last time where, you know, I sat here at Broker Power Hour and I was the one talking for an hour, you know, and so like giving the information and talking. I want this to be more interactive. Let's start off because I think some people know each other here and some don't. So let's just start off real quick. Say your name, introduce yourself. Ashley. Hi, Ashley. Happy Tuesday. Hi.
Hi everyone, I'm Yahaira Martinez. I just joined.
Welcome.
Everyone, I'm Anthony Escobar, and I also just joined.
This is Savannah Iyer. I've been in the office for 7 years.
All right.
Hi, Benisha Upland.
And I miss one of these tags, you guys. I'd like more of you guys to tag me on posts because I do not see social media. I actually ignore social media. I try to stay off of it. But if I'm tagged, I will look at it. So I missed her tags for 2 weeks. She wasn't tagging me. Yeah. So I always see her things. So tag me so I can see it.
Okay. I'm Frank from the West Covina office. Joe Garcia, nice to meet you.
Tracy from the Upland office, and you can put a circle in a square because this is a round table and we're in a square.
I'm Wow, and I joined last year.
Rubio.
Juana Jimenez, I've been here a couple years, in and out.
I am Elliot from Upland office.
Hi,
Elizabeth, been here way too long, since 2014, but I'm still here.
Tina Wayne, I just joined last December.
Welcome.
I'm Alia Garcia, I've been here for a few years. Now with Champions Real Estate.
I'm Marlena with SoCal Title, just here to support and be here for everyone. Evelyn with Champions Mortgage.
Hi everyone, I'm Lana with Champions Mortgage.
Thank you guys. Thanks for doing the introduction. I want to just start out before we get into, conversation and talk. First off, thank you for being here, Marlena. We've recently, I feel like in this market, we have to unite and join forces a lot of the time and just get partners and people, that are going to support us in business. And it's so funny because in all the years that, I've been doing this, a couple decades now, I think, where I've never really promoted or, partnered with a title company, but I feel now it's just going to bring us a lot of value. And so myself, Marlena, and then another office that we work with, we've all kind of come together to work together. So if you guys, are interested in talking to her about what SoCal offers, get with her because it does help the office out. So, I really appreciate your guys' support in utilizing Marlena at SoCal. If you guys can on your transactions, that would definitely help out the whole. And so maybe, if you have business cards or you can get with everybody and chat, about what we're doing and how we're doing it. With that said, I think that the market, I had a recruit appointment the other day, and as a matter of fact, Anthony, I think it was a friend of yours. I think he knows you. And was it Brian? Is his name Brian? Dylan? Dylan, yeah.
Yeah, Audrey.
That's him. Nice guy.
He looks like a Brian, but.
He looks like, Brian, Dylan, it's so funny. I talked to a lot of people, but he came in and, I was talking to him and he goes, I'm interested in coming and seeing what this office has to offer because I pulled numbers. I pulled numbers in the area and you guys are like number one, like your volume and what you're doing. You guys are just like beating all of these other offices out. And so I'm interested, to kind of see what you're doing and just maybe being a part of an environment like that. And so, I wanted to start with that where even though this market is a different type of market, we have managed to keep our volume up and to have agents that are just working really hard, producing and closing deals. Therefore, it's very doable. As a matter of fact, in this market, I feel like it's the time of opportunity. I've always said that, when other people are possibly not getting as much business, that's the time that we need to innovate, create, recreate ourselves, learn more, dig in, and then really build our business. So through these masterminds, I want to do this roundtable because I feel like supporting each other, and bringing ideas can only make us stronger. And like I said, I've got this whole outline. I'll pass it out and I want to have you guys look at this and maybe fill out some key pointers on your own, in your own time to see, exactly what you need to do to increase your guys' business in this market. I want to address something also because I know all of you will, talk to your friends and your friends' friends, and I'm actually going to make an announcement for, for the whole company. But it's so funny, in the last month or so, I've been getting people reaching out. Oh my goodness, are you moving to EXP, or are you going independent? Frank is nodding his head over there. What is happening at Champions, like what is going on? And I want to make clear, I've been RE/MAX for over 20 years. I've been with RE/MAX. I've got a really good grandfather program at RE/MAX. Recently, we have Champions Real Estate, which has really taken off. And we offer that through my brother Jeff. He's a broker and he has the NMLS license. And so agents there are able to not only sell real estate, but also do lending should they wish. We have both now. And so I feel that we have the best of both worlds. I intend to keep both. I intend to operate both so that I can, and I'm actually really enjoying, the platform and the way that it works, because when I meet with agents and I'm talking, and even for you guys, if you're not utilizing the RE/MAX tools and you don't want to pay franchise fees, then there's an option for you. There's an option to move to Champions Real Estate. My brother is super good with systems, so he's beefing up the back-end systems at Champions Real Estate to create the same type of tools, that RE/MAX has on the back end. So we're just offering an array, kind of like, like a menu item to agents to make a decision. What is it that fits your business the best? So I wanted to clear it up, because I've had people reaching out. I have investigated. Obviously, I get recruited just like you guys get recruited. I get recruited by every brand and system and platform out there. And RE/MAX, I truly believe that the reason we have such a powerful office is because true professionals work at RE/MAX. Average closed transaction size, like 12 compared to industry standard at 2 or 3. So I wanted to just use this way you hear it from the horse's mouth. I haven't said much about it. Now, with that said, the reason that you're hearing EXP sort of come out is because those offices don't operate like a brokerage, where they don't really have, they're kind of like, they're in the cloud, really. I mean, they're in the cloud. And so they don't have like services and things like that. So my escrow company and our mortgage company actually services EXP offices. So all the agents from certain outside offices, we collaborate and they utilize our escrow platform and our mortgage platform. So it's a win-win for them and for us. That's probably why you might be hearing a few things. I know you have Frank. I know.
The last time they were here, it seemed like a veiled recruitment collab.
It was supposed to be like this panel of collaboration.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it twisted into into something stranger. And I was talking to Fadi and I told him, I go, well, that's the last time we do an event together, or you need to pull it together, because I'm like, if anything, you're coming over with us. So yeah, I agree with you. It seemed like a little bit salesy, so that might have been why some people thought that. But we're very strong as a group. We have a lot of very productive, very strong agents here that can learn from one another, and we plan to stay here. So I wanted you guys to hear it directly from me.
Thank you. Yay.
And I'm going to put it out to the company as well, just to squash certain people. Love to talk in this business. They love to chatter and talk. Like I said, I'm not going to talk the whole time this time. I do have a few things to say, like regarding the company, production, items I feel that we need to do as a group, but I'm going to turn it over right now to you, Lala, Evelyn, in the mortgage department, so that you guys can talk a little bit about the mortgage.
Thank you, Jennifer. So hi, everyone. I'm Lala here, the in-house lender. And first of all, I just wanted to thank all of you guys for being here today and for sharing this space. There's a lot of information that we would like to go over with you guys. But the best way that I could do this was just do some fun facts that I actually use with, I'm glad that Marlena's here with SoCal, because I don't know if you guys went to one of her classes, but she has this app on your phone, and I went in there and I used the app to create some wonderful flyers and handouts that we could use for open houses or any type of presentations that you guys would like to do or any events. But what I wanted to share is the mortgage company had their best month ever in March. So things are happening. We're seeing a lot of transactions coming through with loans. January was a very good month. So the perception that's out there saying that, business is slow, that the rates are high, that, we can't get everything, that's false. And what I'm here to say is it's going to depend on our mindset, right? Like how we show up and the type of mindset that we want to have. And what I've also learned is 3 things is listening, being a good listener, really listening deeply to our buyers and our sellers, because I think with this market, we're really going to have to wear different hats, just creating strategies for our buyers and our sellers. When we sit with them and we're going over the market, the first thing that they're going to ask is, what are the rates like? Well, what are the rates like? Because everybody's stuck on the rates. But I'm here to tell you that we could get past that. And if we start talking about affordability, because that's the word right now, is what can we afford and how can we work together to bring that forward in a way it's going to enhance them. So there's many different systems out there that we could work with the rates, meaning we could buy them down using seller closing costs to help with the rates, help with a lot of things. So there's a lot of different options for them. We are, as an in-house lender, we do have 38 banks that we could shop the interest rate. And so there's many different options out there. There's not just the conventional, the FHA. If people have bank statements or P&Ls, there's many different options we could present out there. But the main thing is really changing our mindset from saying, well, the rates are too high, and changing it into how can we help you afford this house or the house that you're looking to buy. So there's many different strategies. What I'm going to do is, we were supposed to have a slide, but Justin was nice enough to print these. I'm just going to pass out some fun facts. And like Jennifer said, we wanted to be interactive and for you guys to ask questions. We're here to assist. Yeah, go ahead and pass them out. And so just to give you an idea of what the rates are doing right now, different types of programs for the rates. Once again, when we talk about rates, keep in mind that it's going to depend on the borrower's FICO score, their income, and the situation they're in. So it could vary, but this is to give you an idea. The other handout that I want to pass out is, sometimes people tell us, oh, I want to wait until the rates drop. Let me wait until the rates drop before I move forward. And basically what they're saying is they're not sure, they're not feeling confident about that. This handout shows what kind of payment we're looking at and what kind of savings the buyer will have if they wait for that rate. So we're going to pass this out too. And then this other handout that we're doing, it's kind of something you can share with your buyers and your sellers. And once again, these are just fun facts, fun handouts that we could use as we're sitting there talking to our buyers and our sellers. You could create like a nice little portfolio. Is what the interest rates get over the decades, starting from 1970s all the way till 2025, and what kind of payments we're looking at and what kind of rates historically we've had, so that they don't get stuck on the 2% or the 3% rates, And once again, I thought we were gonna have a slideshow, but, we're doing this one. Mhm.
A question.
Yes.
Can we get this on PDF so we can share it to our social
Yes,
media?
so if you guys get with Marlena, she has this wonderful app and there's so much great information on there that you could create. There's a lot of different flyers. A click of a button, you can change your price range, your purchase price, your interest rate, and then you can print it out. So these are great handouts for the open houses. And then this is another fun fact, days on market for the months that we're in. We're coming into May and June. And that's the highest selling seasons. And so right now is the time to just start talking to the people that have been waiting on the sidelines, strategizing, listening. And once again, you can send this to them. You can sit there, when you're talking about the listing, what price point we're gonna do, or your buyers. These are just things that will help you and support you as we sit with them, talking about interest rates, talking about affordability and payments. And once again, if you go on the app, there's so many different things you could do at a click of a button. You just update your profile, your information. And depending on what area you're in, you can also pull the listings that are in that area, what their payment would be, if they were to use seller credit, how that would help them, what their net sheet would be. Just very wonderful facts there that you could do. So these are simple tools that we have that are easy. Now, I did go into the premium selection. If you pay the premium price, I think it was like $50, Marlon, I think.
Yeah, it's basically, it comes out to about 1 cent a day.
Yeah, like 1 cent a day. It was very cheap, but
Very inexpensive.
these are just like fun handouts that I just thought that you could use for your open house or mailers or whatever you might want. Do you guys have any questions on those handouts or just stuff?
Well, people are asking me about that, no money down with the first-time home buyer, or that they can come up with 20% down, they'll give the 20% down. So I don't know what kind of program it is.
Oh, you mean the CalHalpa?
Is that it?
Yeah, the CalHalpa, that was the one that they were doing for the lotto, where you would submit your application, and if they picked your name, it was like a lottery, they would help you with 20% down payment. But that's an appreciation. Once you sell your house, you refinance it, you would have to pay that 20% appreciation in equity. And that was in March.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I've been
yeah.
getting people asking
That's
me
the dream for
questions.
all. They call it for the dream for all.
Is that done already?
Yes, that was in March 26th when you had to submit your application. So, yeah. Right now, the talk has been, yeah, the talk has, yeah, I mean, they had different criteria, and a lot of people used it more to get opportunities, to just get people talking about the opportunities out there, the buyers. Is kind of a way to, kind of throw out the net and find opportunities. But what people are asking right now is the down payment assistance program, where, once again, that's an FHA loan, and, they can get assistance for closing costs. So there's many different programs depending on what the buyer needs. We could sit with them, do a discovery call, or interview with them, just sit there and see what their needs are. But I think the main focus right now is we're closing loans we're pretty busy right now. So the belief that there's no business out there, that the rates are too high, is false. And so we have to change our mindset and just really open up to how can I serve, and want to talk to my lender or partner up with my lender and see what we could do for you out there. But you see these handouts there, these are just things that we could use so that they could pretty much understand the market that we're in right now.
Another question. Do you guys as lenders need to be certified with the Inland Empire to do the Inland Empire down payment assistance program?
We're sponsored through lenders that they are approved, so we go through our direct.
So like if you
Partnership.
have buyers that,
Yes.
yes, that they need down payment, like we can still work. with
Yes,
them.
yes, we have a partnership with them,
Okay.
that we could do that,
That
yeah.
are certified.
Uh-huh,
Okay.
yeah. So there's many different programs out there
Right.
right now, and not just those, but for the buyers that don't have traditional income, like bank statements.
So don't you have-
Yeah, right. Investors that want to cash out all their equity, we're doing a lot of that right now.
Can you at some point give us some information on the different programs that you guys have or the partnerships?
Yes, yes, and actually, you know, well, the questions that we get is if you would like for us to create a flyer on a particular niche that you're working, like say, if it's VA, if it's down payment assistance, or something like you were asking, we could create a flyer together so that you could put that out there for your open houses.
Yes.
I always say, look at the neighborhood that you're servicing and look at what the needs are in that area and tailor to that. You know, there's a lot of information out there, but whatever niche or whatever buyer sphere or opportunity that you're in, that's what I would do is.
Yeah, because that worked for me trying to move, what we say like stock, is putting the down payment assistance programs that certain institutions have. And that generated interest on the consumer end and obviously the other agents who I'm hiring. That's why I'm asking like if there's any programs that through Champions Mortgage, you are certified to do the loan to promote it. And obviously you have to get a buyer as well.
Yes, yeah, we're partnered. We're partnered with them, yes, definitely. Yeah.
So I would like a flyer.
Yes.
No, maybe that's-
Yeah, well, something you can do depending on where your listing is. And sorry, I was late, everyone.
Introduce yourself, Monica.
I'm Monica Boggs and I'm a mortgage broker here. And I was late dealing with a buyer, but got it resolved, so that's good news. But if you have a listing and you want to, promote the listing attached to a grant, is what I'm hearing you
Yes.
say, is depending specifically on the city where it's listed. There's city-specific grants, and so it's really important just to reach out to the LO that you're working with, because they will have their niche of grants that are also not associated with the banks, that are associated within the city, that they have relationships.
Right.
And I think that's what you're speaking of. Yes, yeah.
And if you can like work
Absolutely.
with both to. offer
Yeah,
them a-
sometimes it's one or the other. You can't, stack them, but it depends on the program. Some are shared equity, some are different, variations.
Yeah.
But I think the idea is to promote it so you can get more traffic. So reach out to us,
Okay.
please.
In Monica, since you're here now, I would like for you, if you can, share with everyone what you've seen out there. I know you deal with a lot of realtors and, you're one of our top producers here at the mortgage company. What would you say you're seeing out there right now in the market if you could share with the realtors here?
Well, I think, first of all, what we're seeing is a lot of engagement. People are realizing that sixes are here, we're in this market, we've gotten used to it, right? We're out of the twos and threes mindset. And so we either need to pull the trigger or we're gonna miss opportunities. And our rates are fairly low in the grand scheme of things. And so just accepting that, people aren't afraid. We see days on market, obviously, but you guys see days on market a little bit longer. So we have to get creative with incentivizing. I'm not seeing a lot of seller concessions the way I was last year, but I am seeing aggressive rates in terms of really shopping and our buyers looking at, well, I can get a 1/4 point better here. Okay, well, what if I can keep you at that same interest rate, but I can incentivize you for closing costs? Because that's where I'm winning deals, is through incentives and having them bring less cash to the table, especially if the home is pre-lived in, which 99% of what we do is, unless you're, Lenny, right? But you see that there's a lot of ways that they can come in with less money and use that towards repairs. So that's what I'm saying, that the market is a little bit better. It's slower moving, things are taking longer, but they're closing. It's like, we really gotta push it to the finish line and get it over the mountain, and then once it does, it's smooth sailing. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. So we gotta work a little harder, but we can close, and we are.
What is the interest rate right now for a loan that is going to be an 8 acre loan and conventional?
Okay, I think I gave you a handout right there with the interest rates.
I locked one last night at a 5.99. Yes.
And keep in mind, you have to, you have to look at the FICO, the credit, yes, yes.
So that's, this one had 30% down, 820. So they're a little bit higher than most, but 5.99. And guess what? Yeah. But I mean, still, I saw the fives.
It's in the fives.
And but they were excited. It was psychological to them, right?
That was that part of my house.
Yeah, and just to let you guys know, a lot of banks are getting very creative. They want the business, so they're offering a lot of incentives out there. Once again, we work with 38 investors out there. And so we're able to price it out, right? And that's the beauty of being with a broker. When you work with a direct lender, the underwrite under, one program, one umbrella. But when you work with someone like us, we're able to price it out. Like Monica just said, she did that on another one where she was able to find a better rate and actually got a $6,000 credit on another deal.
No, it was the same exact rate, but I moved the buyer to a different bank because, Lala and Evelyn have taken the time to sign us up with so many that I was able to move us smoothly, still close on time, but offer them $6,000 towards closing costs. So that's huge. So, I mean, that's furniture, that's appliances, that's new flooring, whatever it may be. So sometimes it's about the incentive and being able to pivot and still close on time.
What are you finding matters to buyers right now? Like as far as the lending, those credits or?
Yeah, it's funny, the one I locked last night, I was able to offer them, I thought they would want the credits. Everyone wants to come in with less down, less out of pocket. They actually chose, because they're so conservative with their money and such, they chose the lower interest rate and no credit. And so really depends on them, but 95% want to come with the least amount out of pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And that's where the listening comes in. Like you said, for some people it's gonna be the rate, or some people are gonna need the credit to close it. And Joe, I wanted you to just share a little bit because you're one of the few that does the real estate and the loans. And I've seen you be very active within the last month and, with transactions on both ends. Can you just share a little bit of your experience there and what you're doing?
Yeah, you're on fire all of a sudden. Tell us the secret.
Tell us the secret, on both ends.
You motivated me, so that's why. Put my thumbs and so.
Yeah, we're just like, wow, you're just slamming them. So just share a little bit about what you're seeing out there.
We're in an industry that has different markets. See, that's the way I look at it, right? So it depends on who my client is, because I deal, as you know, with listings, buyers, refinancing. So it's really hard to pin them down to like, this is what is, the catch-all. It's hard to frame them in that box.
Right.
So to me, it's just the client I'm dealing with right now. So right now, I got a refinance, I have purchase, and I have listings going, right? See, and I'm doing residential, I'm also doing the commercial side of it, right? See, so I don't know if I'm answering your question. I'm just.
No, I'm just saying, what are you doing differently? What are you doing differently from 3 months ago?
Oh.
Yes, what are you doing different? Because I saw a shift in you, your
I did
mindset.
one specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
When I wake up, I get out of bed and I start making calls. Versus waking up and staying in bed.
Okay.
So I just started calling my clients, my book of business, and that's basically what's been happening.
Yeah, you did a shift.
Yeah.
Question for you, and do they mind the early morning calls? Because I get grouchy people, so I try to do it later in the day, but what is your experience? You call them?
No, I'm getting calls like 11:30, 12, at night, by the way. So from morning, it's all over the place. Oh, yeah.
So these are not cold calls, these are warm?
No, these are past clients that I've had for years.
There's a relationship.
And then, of course, the referral business comes in. You've been in this business a long time. You know how it works. Once you do one thing, it snowballs into another. You just follow up and be consistent. That's basically it is, just being consistent. Yeah, but right now, like I said, it's like I'm hitting all those different markets when usually I'm focusing just on, I just have these listings, so I'll focus on listings. Right now, it's everywhere. What's helped me out a lot though, really, Lala, to answer your question, is really the mortgage side. Never did I think that the mortgage was gonna be such a big part of my business. Because, I just focus on listings, right, and representing buyers, not really on the mortgage side. But I'm doing buyers and refinancing, so I'm like, I call all my clients I had in the past, I'm like, hey, what's your rate? What's going on? What do you guys wanna do? You have equity, let's do this, let's do that. It opens a completely different, just by doing that, I've gotten referrals from like, hey, you know what? I think my niece wants to buy a house now, I never would have made that call if it wasn't for the mortgage side, because I was so focused on the real estate side, So, yeah, so what I want to do now is join EXP. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Well, if you're going on, go.
No, thank you. I was actually nervous when you started talking, like,
Come on,
you
you
just
want
got
to be
our
a
logo.
recruiter.
You just got our logo. Come on, by the way, you have the logo.
You don't want to recruit and make like $1,500 a year. But it's also the knowledge. I think when the more that you know, the better that you can talk to your clients. So knowing, mortgage and real estate and just having knowledge of all of it creates more conversations.
Absolutely.
I have something to add with that, Jennifer. I think it's interesting too, because there was a time with agents when lenders would say, stay in your lane and let me talk rate and let me talk loan. But I feel like now with the clients that they're so knowledgeable and so savvy that if you come with them with all the knowledge, I think that's helpful. And I think that creates a stronger bond, relationship, trust, all of it.
Yeah, if I could piggyback off of exactly what you said, not just the agent, but the buyers and the sellers. Like you said, they're just more savvy, and they may not know anything, but they have a very powerful tool called Google. And they'll read it, and all of a sudden, and then they have even more powerful tool, AI. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, oh, you can, before you could I never did this. I'm sure none of us did. BS or wait to something. I just never got that. I hate that expression. Fake it till you make it. That's, I think that's ridiculous, right? So you have to be an expert and understand your business. They do that now. They fake it till they make it, right? They'll act like they know, and I'm like, yeah, you AI that. Yeah, no, let me give you the details. Let me give you the fine print to that. See, but as long as they know, like, oh, you have something to say back to them that they just read one paragraph and you give them the whole volume, they're like, okay, I like you. I see you know the business, So that's.
And clients also, like you just said with AI, now they can research anything, just the press of a button. And you can ask, I love my little chat GPT. I just ask it questions. But I think it's great in business. We're bringing somebody to start training on AI next month, and we're gonna be doing that every month, just because simple things like that we don't even think of, where, if you want to explain a contract to your client. Ashley and I were talking about this because she does contracts, where you can, just scan the contract and then summarize it for the client. All sorts of things to just shorten our time. But clients are also utilizing it. And we had a situation recently with one of our agents where the client was using AI. We clearly knew that that's what they're doing, playing attorney, trying to get out of a contract. And it's like classic AI script, classic GPT script. And I'm like, actually, no, that's not how it works. You're misinformed, because sometimes there's more additional data than what ChatGPT is going to spit out. But it's really true. It's coming to head with all this AI. Clients are more informed, and we have to be equally as informed.
Yeah, I still believe that we need to be more advanced. Whatever we are doing right now, we need to be above.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more informed.
More informed, more knowledge.
I'll piggyback off of that really quick. So if you have knowledge and you articulate yourself very well when you do the explanation to your client, regardless if you're a buyer's agent, a listing agent, or a loan officer, what I tend to do with help for me, I challenge them to go and speak to another and encourage them to speak to another person, get a second opinion. when I do that challenge is because I've already thoroughly have gone throughout the whole process with them. And it seems that it's helped me out where almost 100% of the time, they're like, you know what, no, they felt so comfortable because of every process, of every guidance that I've given them, or every bit of information, that there's no need for them to go somewhere else. And I even tell them, I have done the whole rocket, use Elon Musk's ChatGPT app and go for it, because everything that I'm basically advising or mentioning, you're gonna find it there. So that's also, I do that, and that might be a little bit maybe too risky for some people, but I just do that because I have nothing to hide when it comes down to thoroughly going through everything, whether it's working with a buyer, working with a seller, or on the loan side of things. So I just do that. And it's helped me out where they have more of, I don't want to hear anybody else what they have to tell me. I trust what Liz is telling me right now, and we move forward. So.
Yeah, and I think we have to be like that, very knowledgeable, especially because all my listings, my minimum, it's 3%, and I have to justify that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's not like, oh, that's the typical, because now sellers in their head, all they have is, I don't have to pay anything. I hear the law changed, you know? So now like, no, it did change, but let me tell you how it works, and this is my fee. We're paying the seller, I mean the buyer, but like you said, we give all the information we can, and they have to feel comfortable saying, okay, I'm getting my money's worth, right? So.
Well, I think it's giving that value. As realtors, we have to be very informed with what we're doing and very educated and provide that value. And how are we going to do that? I mean, is it getting them to book the best price for their home? Is it like each client considers value very differently, and so we have to listen to them. Yesterday, it's so funny because same thing, like pricing, you go in and then you say, I want 3% for this listing. Like, I want to earn 3% commission to do the work that I'm going to do for this, to service this client for this listing. Yesterday, I recently changed CPAs because my old CPA, for whatever reason, he just stopped, and I couldn't figure it out. He just stopped being responsive. He just stopped answering. It was difficult to get things from him. And so I asked my banker, Scott, you're going to need to refer me to another CPA. Scott came through, found me. So if you guys, I think I've said this a couple times in meetings, if you guys need a really good CPA, these people are awesome. But found me some local CPAs, which ironically, think about how our mindset can sometimes get to us. I've always had men CPAs, like from the very beginning of business. And so this is a female-owned firm, and they're all women. And I was like, oh my God, what is Scott doing to me? Am I in trouble, or is this gonna be okay? But getting back to the point, I thought, okay, Scott knows what he's doing. I'm gonna go ahead and go with them. Well, I saw the bill, like what they're charging me. I saw their bill, and I told Ashley, I think I talked to you right after. I almost fell off my chair because it was like $50,000, right? Just like, I almost fell off of my chair, and I thought, what in the world? Well, I got on the Zoom with her and started talking to her, and she went through all the corporations, all the LLCs, my personal taxes. And at the end of the day, she's like, you can literally buy, this is perfect for any type of financing that you want to qualify for, and you owe no taxes to anybody. And she's like, I guarantee you, my fees may be what they are, but I will always deliver the quality to you and make sure that whatever loan you want to qualify for, your financials are going to look like you can qualify for the loan. And whatever, you want to buy, your financials are going to be like prime, and you're not going to pay any taxes. No taxes personally, no taxes on any of the corporations, but her fee was, I will, yes. They're excellent. And she literally went through with me, but at the end of the day, as a customer, it's the same thing with us, right? As realtors, if we go in And then we say, this is the service that I'm going to provide to you. And I'm gonna give you like top-notch quality service, do what I say, be available, deliver, get you the best price, negotiate for you. Like, people are generally willing to pay. At the end, I was like, I'll pay you more.
I was just gonna ask you that, will you have paid more?
Yes, at the
You see?
end,
Yes,
I was
exactly.
like, I'll pay you more,
Exactly.
I will pay you more for what you just did for me, like I will pay more.
She closed the
So, huh?
She closed the sale.
She already did the work, so she better close the sale, like, it's already, I already had the bill, but luckily I was, a happy customer, and I think that, that's what we need to do, is just to have that knowledge to be able to provide, and there's no lack of, here at Champions, obviously we have all the classes, and I always tell everybody, if you're in all the classes, then you're not gonna be working, right? But select the ones that you want to attend, and I recommend next month we're doing the AI. You guys need to know it. I mean, it's happening, you need to know it, just to make your business easier, to utilize certain things, and we'll probably do that every month, so that he can bring in like different tools each time that we can learn. We're gonna do a contract class. I really wanna see everybody at the contract class, because Ashley does it monthly, but we're bringing somebody in for a few months. I worked with her back in the day. A lot of you might even know her, Gina Sonic. But that's all she does is contracts. And she's gonna come in and go through all the contracts, because I'm seeing, there's a lot of gaps in our contracts. We're not doing proper disclosures. It's better to over disclose than under disclose. None of us ever think I always talk about this, that it's gonna be us that gets sued, but it's not fun when you get sued, because when you get sued, then you're like, oh my gosh, now I'm focused, on this, and it's a mess. So you wanna be tight with your disclosures, so you're gonna see a memo come out, it's gonna say mandatory. Obviously, we're all independent contractors, but I just want to get the point across that, we should all know our contracts inside and out, so that you can protect yourselves and your clients. And then we're also gonna be
Wait, to add to that, Jennifer, it's gonna be a hybrid thing. It's gonna be Zoom and in person for those contract class.
you're gonna
It's both.
video, yeah,
So
because we have a lot of.
that's why it's mandatory, because there's gonna be no excuses. You have to show up to those contract class, please. It's very important. She's paying a lot of money for this coach to be here. So it's very important that we take these trainings, because it's very important. You don't want to be sued, right? So this is why we're bringing it. It's going to be 6 sessions every other week, Zoom and in person. But if you can, please be in person. That'd be awesome if you guys can. But we do have the Zoom option.
Definitely, it's very important for your clients too. You want to protect them. You want to do the best job. Like when a file comes in, the first thing that I look at is, let's say you represent a client, and God forbid they do get into litigation. How are you going to protect your own client and yourself if you don't have the appropriate file? The insurance will even kick out a file if it's not documented appropriately, which means that suddenly there's no coverage for anybody. So it's really important to attend. It's a big part of our business, like it or not. We love to talk to people and get out there and socialize and all of that, but then there's the other side of it, which is the technical side, and knowing our contracts very, very well. And then, towards after that is done, which I also do recommend that these items, I do recommend that you guys attend. We're gonna bring in a production coach, because I do feel, even though we have great production, I feel like if you're already here, it's like easier to get to here with just like a few tweaks in your business. Like maybe a few either accountability items, or finding out what prospecting items are actually working for you, focusing more on that. But just showing up for that accountability can help our business as well. So I do recommend that you guys tap into that as well. So those are the main items for the year that I recommend you do for your business and to learn.
The production coach is gonna be after Gina. So we're gonna
it's those items in a row.
For that Gina session, we're not gonna have many classes, but that contract class is very important for those 2 months. Which is, yes, for June all the way till September, I believe. It's 6 sessions. So, and then we're gonna bring in the production coach right after that.
When
Gina.
John comes, John, the AI?
Next month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it
that's
came
your
out already.
friend,
Yeah.
He's coming in. So I'm gonna be chat GPTing you all the time.
All right.
I already use it, but you know what happens with chat, I don't know if you guys found out, it's like, it becomes like a yes man or a yes woman. You have to like tell it, you know what? Don't tell me what I wanna hear, like tell me the reality of everything that is out there. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah, they can be biased based off.
Yeah, it starts to learn you, like it
Yeah.
starts to learn what you wanna hear or something, it's the strangest thing. Oh, also Elizabeth has graciously decided to help us out and bring momentum back.
Momentum is coming back.
So momentum is coming back.
I know you're really looking forward to it.
That is a really, that's for all agents, RE/MAX and Champions Real Estate, because all the tools of momentum apply to all of us. So, yeah, it applies to everybody.
Percy, I can't wait for you to be there.
Liz, you wanna explain what momentum is?
So Momentum has been a RE/MAX tool. They've had it forever and a day. I love teaching it because not only does it discuss on how to get the business, how to prepare for your business, how to get the client, how to speak to the client. There's so many modules. RE/MAX has updated all the modules for this year, and there's new things that are coming in, whether it's cold calling, soliciting for business, how to conduct an open house. There's so many tools, and I encourage you to go to the classes. I love them. I love teaching them. And we just learn from each other and brainstorm and how to make your business grow and thrive. I could already tell them one of the modules that does discuss about how to conduct an open house, especially nowadays, because you have buyers, right, signing up the contracts, the BRC before they come in. Well, how does the open house thrive? It thrives with you, but what do you do to it? So there's so many little anecdotes in there. So I'm excited to bring that, and that's coming, I think, May 12th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 sessions in May.
Yeah, so there's 2 sessions in May, it'll be every other week, and they'll be at, I don't know, we haven't discussed where it's gonna be at the tier or the training room, but I encourage you guys to come, it's fun, I love doing that class, and can't wait. I'm
Thank
back.
you for doing that.
Thank you.
Does everybody here get the text messages and emails from the marketing team?
Yes.
Everybody get them?
Who
doesn't
Who's
get
gonna
them?
say no?
Anybody
Who's
does
gonna
not
say
get
no?
them?
I'm kidding. Because you don't want it.
Did you block them? Did you block them after all these years? Javier opted out. Did you opt out? Yeah, he's like spam.
You put it silent.
Yeah, because we need to stay tuned in. I have more.
Pulse as well. Pulse.
Yeah, are you?
Everybody on Pulse?
Facebook Pulse, the Pulse site? Okay.
Pulse as well is a great platform for you guys to use to like talk to the other agents.
Yes.
You know, I see our hiring using it for handyman, roofers. Like, it's a great place to ask all the champions for questions about anything. And people comment there all the time. So use it as a tool. Share open houses. If you guys still want me to share open houses and to the whole brokerage, please email me the listing and I can share it. Yeah, so Pulse is a great place.
Yeah, get on there, like share things on there, with the other agents. Morgan is gonna be literally calling everybody on the roster to make sure that they're on everything. Because I think people get so busy that, I don't know, whether they just don't pay attention, whether they don't opt in, but they're great tools to have, because the more we network and share with each other, the better we do.
You know what it worked? I asked them to go ahead and put it there, and I had a listing, so, say like coming soon, and I had a whole conversion and everything, how would that deal together?
That's awesome.
The one that I
But not even the market's already going, like, So it works, we'll go ahead and put it there, if you got a buyer,
Right, that's good.
Did I
No
put that?
headache,
The one I sent for you?
No, yeah, that one.
That one?
That
All right. That's 10%, buddy. That's cool. Yeah, so please share with me. Like whatever you want me to share, I can share it.
Yeah.
Listings, not or open houses.
Is the champion app working?
Nobody used it.
So we just switched back to
All right,
Pulse.
cool.
Yeah. Everybody was on the Facebook Pulse site, and everybody kept using Pulse. And so I couldn't get everybody on the app, but we tried.
Jennifer, concerning the classes, they sound amazing. I think it's exactly what we need, so thank you for that. You know, they're very
Of
relevant.
course, yeah.
Is it possible before these classes that we get like the agenda or what the talking points are going to be?
I think that's possible, yeah.
Just
We
so
could
that
do
we're
that,
ready?
right, Justin?
Yeah.
To kind of go in prepared,
Yeah,
To see.
exactly.
Because I'll
See,
do
or
that
to
online.
scope the class out.
I'll usually do that on mine, I'll
Just
tell
read the-
them, like,
when it's sent out, there's usually- it's
what
in-
we're doing on each.
When it's sent out for each class, it's usually in the caption.
Oh,
what
it
they're-
is?
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's in the caption or it's on the flyer. It's telling you what they're talking about.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, this way you know. It's not-
But for the contracts class, I'm gonna have an outline from her. So title of everything.
Yes, yes.
I have a
Yeah,
meeting with-
that's exactly.
Yeah,
That one's important to attend.
yeah. I'll have
I plan on doing that one.
Yeah.
I have a meeting with her on Thursday, so I'll have a bunch of more information and I'll share with everybody.
And sometimes we don't want to spend the time on basics, like I get going through contracts and learning them again. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it's necessary. We've got to get those basics right. So just tolerate the boredom.
Jennifer, that is so important, the contracts. And when I explain to my clients about contracts, whether on the listing or the buyers, that's one thing that they get really impressed about because other agents are not strong in that. And that's your whole crest of everything. And I tell them, I'm trying to save you from having problems down the line. And that's why I counter back certain things. And I tell them, I can I know what agent I'm gonna have trouble with just by the way they write up the purchase agreement.
Exactly.
And that shows our value and our knowledge. And I tell them I'm always going to classes and always learning. So they appreciate that.
I see that on the mortgage side too. When the contract is thorough, well-written, we have less problems with back and forth, anytime there's credits or, putting it on an addendum versus a request for repairs. All that is critical to our process too, so we appreciate that.
That's true.
Yeah. And it's clear. There's
That's
no,
right.
and you give her teeth. Everything is just clear.
Correct.
Because they can misconstrue certain things, and that's where you have problems with the buyer and the seller.
Well, a lot of times they're not allocated.
That's right.
And
Right.
it's, okay, well, who really was paying for homework? Who really was paying for escrow? Because they put it, but it doesn't say who. And then that's another part on us. Sometimes we get backlash on obviously picking up your checks because something's not completed. We're not doing it because we just want to hold your check. We want you to get your check, but we also want to make sure that the file is clear and compliant and is done correctly. So if we're missing something, we're trying to protect you so that you don't have to pay directly. We don't have to use insurance. We want to avoid using the insurance if we can. And we added a couple more things this year that I'll be doing on my contract class before hers that we added to our checklist, and we also removed a few things that were outdated. Our checklists are not that long, you guys. I see the checklist for other offices, especially in San Diego, they're 4 pages long. Ours is basically one legal size page, so it's not a lot. The one thing that I do see is a lot of times we do what we have to and not what we should, especially with rejecting offers, which that has always been on there. And it says, if applicable. However, that doesn't just mean if you want to upload them. If you get an offer, every single offer you get has to be presented. You need to be making sure that you're presenting it, and if you're rejecting it, you're sending it to the other agent, because that's the majority of the board complaints and the hearings that I have to go to. Is most buyers and their agent don't feel their offer is being presented and they have no proof of rejection. After a file closes, it could be 3 or 4 months by the time the DRE gets to it for a complaint. So then, yeah, you already closed with the other person, but did you send this? Oh, well, no, because we didn't accept their offer. Go above and beyond, respond just as you would want to be responded, so you can tell your client as well, if you didn't get accepted, here's my proof. So make sure you're asking for it for your clients, but also on your listings, make sure that you are doing that extra step and putting them in for permit.
I did notice that, by the way.
I'm gonna go with her on that. I just opened escrow last week on a property, my nice one in West Covina, because I have an ugly one in Covina. And
The asbestos one?
Yeah, I call that one Saving Private Ryan. So that was, but my nice one, I got over 12 offers I presented all offers to the seller, and the one that he moved forward with, but guess what I had to do? DocuSign, page was 17. And all 12 offers went to my seller, and he rejected, it was presented, dated, rejected, dated, and guess what? I took the extra time that evening and sent it all out to all the agents, and they received it. Why? Because agents are now being very, well, I don't believe that you showed my offer. Yes, I did, it's right there. Have a nice day.
Especially if they're not doing much else and it's their only client, oh, they have all the time in the world to complain about it. Let me tell you. And then you see it, and then as soon as you get in the hearing, if you did do it properly, you just see them kind of looking down or getting more defensive and getting mad. Well, our offer was better though. Can you not see it closed higher? It doesn't matter. Whatever the seller chose to go with, they went with. We did it right. There's nothing you can do, but they will take that time if they're not a busy agent to go to the board and go to the VRE and go make the complaint. They may not have the money to sue or try to go that avenue, but they will do the complaint and try to make you miserable. Yeah.
I do have a question though, because I did notice that. I did notice that now that is a requirement, which is cool, no problem. But I was also asked for the acknowledgement of presentation of offer on an accepted offer. You know, isn't that pretty obvious? I mean, it's my.
You still need to have the presentation date because if you do.
But I'm not the listing agent. It was the listing agent accepted our offer. We closed, right? We have, I mean, obviously, but he didn't put presentation of offer. His client didn't sign presentation of offer. They accepted our offer. So
it's a date thing that the DRE requires. So that's why.
So even, okay.
Even if you open escrow, it's still that it was presented because every offer, just like how she did, that's what I do too. Every offer you present should still have been presented the initial and date. And the
Even
other
though they
side should be
accepted the
doing
offer,
that
do
too.
you see where my logic is going?
You still ask that other agent for it. And a lot of escrows now are getting into that too because they've had issues when they have to supply their file and it's not marked.
But we have to do it on our listings, like when we send that paperwork, or even you're the buyer, we have to send that in to the broker.
Exactly, so it has to be, it's always been there, yeah. Yeah, because it's a DRE thing. And like I said, we're not doing it to make you guys as life partners, we're doing it in the future to make it easier to protect you and make sure that.
By the way, my complaint is just a clarification.
Yeah, no, that's what that.
It is what it is. It's just a signature, you know. It's all right.
And then the same thing with the VRBC.
No, not at all.
No, the VRBC will think that it's only between buyer and agent, okay? 5 years ago, guess what? It was more of a buyers are liars. I want to protect myself. This is why I have the VRBC. The VRBC is not for that purpose anymore. Now it's for the fact that I can't write an offer unless I have that. And whatever I requested an offer better match this, or you're gonna have problems if it does go to a higher power. Therefore, escrow does need the VRBC, and each file, buyer and seller side, should have a VRBC as well that matches. So, because we do get a lot of that push. You can do a modification, yes, and you can change it, but some will, yes, and if it doesn't.
So if I have 17 offers on a piece of property, do I have to put all 17 into brokerment?
Yep, not the whole offer. You can do just the presentation if you wish to,
Okay.
and the first page. Because what? It's gonna give us the agent's information, the name of the client, the property, it's gonna give us everything. So it'll always be these two, and it's the same thing that you send to the other agent. You're not initialing, signing anything else except for 17 when you reject and present, and then that's all you're putting in, and you put them together.
For this question, even as a listing agent already accept offer, we still need to sign that one.
They should still have done it before they can give it back to you and open escrow. Because how could they accept it if they didn't present it? So it should have been presented.
They accept the offer.
Yeah, they accepted the offer. But that's fine, that's fine.
Actually, are you saying that we also have to rejected in the multiple offer scenario? Like the agent offer was presented and rejected?
This, yeah, on all rejected offers. That's, it's always been in government, but it was a bad rule because you may only get one offer on a property. But in the event you get more, you should always have. That's why it was there, because it did come up quite, like, quite most of the time, that's what those board hearings are.
And that goes
They're about
with-
rejected offers.
And that goes with the RP.
What do you mean?
Like, so where do you enter that?
It's on recruitment. What page? 17. Page 17, so right there is presented.
No, I know that part, but which tab would you enter that way, along with your listing agreement or?
No, there's an actual place in Brokerment that says rejected offers,
Oh.
and it's always been there, yeah. It just was under applicable, so that's why I feel a lot of agents just kind of skip over it, but you don't want to skip over it.
Now you won't get paid if you don't.
I know.
You won't
But
get paid.
it's on your honor thing, it's on your honor.
Yeah, because nobody knows how
We
many
don't know
offers
who
we
got
actually receive. It's really just to, protect yourself from having an issue with the board.
I did notice there's more disclosures that were.
Yeah,
Whose number is that?
I'm sorry?
Whose number is that?
Dude, Fernando Valenzuela, bro.
New Jersey.
Seller signs the counter, and then the buyer signs, and then there's a third box if it is accepted.
Yeah.
And then she's like, but the seller signed the counter, I'm like, yes, but it's a multiple case scenario, like. she needs to sign
Remember
it.
another day.
Because in my 21 years, I've never seen this or heard this, I was like, it made me, I'm like, let me review my document, yeah.
It's that yours was chosen, right?
Sign
Yeah,
it.
the other one's out.
Yeah.
Well,
So
you
I'll
guys,
get his email and I'll just
our
send it.
1
Just- I just need
hour,
to take a
it
snapshot
has
of that
gone
and
like
upload,
super
right?
fast like
Okay.
this. And Justin, I didn't even let you say anything regarding the marketing team.
You're fine.
Do you have anything?
No, we went over it, like classes,
okay.
SMS, polls, emails.
Okay.
I'm always available. You guys always call me.
The one thing,
here.
I could say is just tap into the resources right now, tap into the community, reach out to agents that are doing a lot of production. We have a lot of agents here that are doing very, very, very well, network with them, see what they're doing. Hold yourselves accountable. I feel like this is the market that we can really thrive in. If you hold yourselves accountable with your daily habits. I did, print out certain things that I think you could ask yourself what you're doing daily that could really bring you, better habits, better production, better resources for yourself and your business. So just kind of fill this out at your own leisure. We don't have time to obviously do this here. And then every month we want to do this, for next time when we meet, think of ideas and think of things like that you've experienced or that you've gone through that you want to share so that other people can learn from you, as well. I mean, we have people here, I know today, that have not shared, that do, that are just closing deals like hotcakes. So network with each other. Now's the time. Now's the time to really thrive, you guys. This is actually a really good market. And don't get that mentality where you're hearing it isn't because people are closing deals left and right. So if they're doing it, why can't we do it, right? That's the way to look at it. Anybody else have any final things that they would like to say, share before we close it out?
Tag me on everything. Whatever brokerage, tag me.
Well, tag me because
If you tag her, yeah.
I know you guys are posting and I will not see it if you don't tag me. I literally try to stay off. The social media messes with my head because once you're on there, like you're scrolling, and then I feel like it's just wasting my time and wasting my day. So I want to see your guys' posts. Tag me so that I can see it. Otherwise, I'm not going to see it. The team posts on my social media for me. So unless I'm tagged, then
I did tag you. We went to Fleming's, you didn't.
Oh. You haven't tagged me. No, I haven't seen any. I always see all of my tags. Don't be lying to everybody here. Don't be lying. Yeah. Don't be lying. You were at Fleming's without me, probably.
We tag another Jennifer.
Yeah, it was another Jennifer.
Oh, the ESP.
Oh.
I'm gonna say.
We do have lunch, by the way, too.
Yeah, you
That is lunch.
Make sure you grab some lunch. Thank you.
Did anybody use CRM? What CRM do you use?
They use Wise
Because someone refer me or follow up us.